Hi everyone, my name is Dylan with Designs by Dylan and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am very excited to showcase my home for the holidays 2019. As many of you know, Christmas is my favorite time of year. There is Easter, there is Thanksgiving, and there is Halloween, but there is nothing like Christmas time. I'm very excited to showcase everything I've been working on this year, starting with my color scheme. So every year, I kind of lay out ribbon and maybe materials or ingredients that I'd like to incorporate into my designs. And three of those colors that I found this year that I really love are red, emerald green, and just a pop of black and white, which you'll see some accents in my ribbon. So guys, sit back, relax, honey, get you a glass of wine and a snack, and hang on because we're about to do a Christmas home tour. Welcome to my entryway. I always say that when you start decorating your home, it's always important, of course, to have a main Christmas tree that's really pretty and beautiful, but I always like to have something kind of spectacular at my front door. So what I've done is I've actually just left my mirror up here that I've had for all year and my piece of furniture. I've removed everything that I use for everyday purpose, and I actually took a 9-foot garland that we decorated and designed in Dylan's Divas monthly design group that you see here behind me. And I really love Santa. What is your favorite, I guess, Santa or snowman for Christmas? Everybody has a preference, but I'm a Santa person, and so I have chosen my decorative Santas from Possible Dreams to accent up here with a few Department 56 villages to really give some color. I've also taken my everyday lamps, which you'll notice that I changed out, into just some skinny, small black lamps, again, to bring out that black accent that we used in our ribbon and our other decorations. You'll also see, honey, that I have mirrored symmetrically these fabulous nutcrackers on each side of me. They are 6 foot tall, and girl, I am obsessed with the ID channel. I stay up all night, honey, and watch it, and it gets me paranoid. So I come through sometimes in the dark with a glass of wine, and oh my God, I think there's somebody standing here, somebody out to kill me. So they can be scary, but they are pretty at the same time. So we've chosen those to put on each side of this to really just anchor this display. So for anyone who has multiple trees in their home, it's always important to set the tone with at least one. So my main tree this year, which is a 12-foot tree, I have really accented with all of my color palette, which is the red, green, and a touch of black and white, which I used on these ornaments as well as in the tips of my ribbon. So on my tree this year, I started out with just a blank tree. I added my ribbon on there first to kind of set the tone, and then I went back and filled in with my three main ingredients that I always use in floral design, which is ribbon, balls, and floral. You start with your ribbon, you tie bows or you cascade your ribbon through and out of the tree. Then you start with your balls, you add the larger ones up in the branches, close to the trunk to add depth, and then you work your way to the tips of the branches with the smaller decorative ornaments. Then you take your picks and sprays, which are your floral component, and really use those to accent and fill in all of your tree. Now I'm going to take you directly across from my main Christmas tree, which is my fireplace area along with my built-ins. Now honey, anybody who knows me knows I have a Christmas obsession, but I really have an obsession with Department 56 Christmas villages. I have way too many, honey. I have so many I have to hide when I buy, so Josh said no, but I love them. And every year I have customers and friends of mine ask, what is your favorite one? And there's so many different ones here I love for different reasons. But if I had to choose just one Department 56 village that is my all-time favorite, would be probably Shelley's Diner. This was released in 2001. It's now a retired piece, so it's very collectible. It's hard to get your hands on. And this is probably my favorite. My second favorite, I wouldn't say individual house, but collection, would be the Christmas Vacation collection. That's my favorite movie. You'll see later as we progress in this tour. Honey, I've got signs over here and plaques that have all the sayings and things from that movie on there. So y'all make sure you leave comments all the way throughout this video. Let me know what your favorite movie is. I love to hear your feedback as well as what your favorite Department 56 village is or Christmas movie, and then go from there. So what I've done is I've taken all of my home decor kind of out of my bookcases for Christmas. You can do many different things. You could put decorative ornaments, you could put statuary, anything like that in there for Christmas, but I've chosen to do the villages. And honey, those cords drive me insane. So what I have done is I actually worked a whole day or maybe 2 days on the cords, hid those the best that I could, and then I set all of the houses kind of where that I want them. Once I get them all plugged in and all of those cords hidden, then I go back with my accessories and embellishments to really set off the village. And at the top up here, which you'll see in a little bit, I actually created a garland. The reason I did that is because, girl, you gotta have them cords somehow, and they have to plug in somewhere. So I actually just took the cords, took them up the top, and that is why the garland is there to hide all of my cords at the top of the shelf. So moving on from my built-ins, I'm going to take you to my mantle. This is one of my favorite areas in my home as well because it really anchors all of my decorations and ties them in together. It's always important if you have multiple trees to take at least some of the colors you use in your main tree and accent and embellish other areas in your home. Therefore, you carry that color palette throughout your whole house. So I've taken the same ribbon that I've used in my tree, I've incorporated it into my mantle garland here. And of course, honey, I am traditional. At the same time as I like designer things, I like things to be livable and comfortable. I don't want it to look like a magazine. So what I have done is taken my stockings that I've had for years growing up. Oh honey, things are falling out already. And put them here on my mantle. Of course, they're for decorations. No one is getting anything in their stocking over here, Josh, unless you want to do something. And then up here at the top, what I have done is taken a decorative sign. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle because, honey, please, after you start decorating a lot, sometimes you can get your tinsel in a tangle and it ain't good. So then I took Mrs. and Mr. Claus, honey. He's got one eye. I don't know what happened, but they're up there to kind of decorate and accent my mantle right behind my garland. So we are moving on to my dining room, and I know I've told y'all that this room and this room and this display is my favorite in my house. I just love it all so much this year. Just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, we moved in last year, November 15th, which if you know me, honey, I am full doing Christmas installs by then, but that was just the time frame that we had to move. And so we moved in, and basically we had maybe a week or two to really decorate the whole house with everyday stuff and go back and decorate and design for Christmas, because we were going to do a Christmas party, which, you know, looking back on it, I'm glad that we had set a date for the Christmas party, because that really kicked my butt into gear to continue and work everything. But this year, I started decorating my house in September. Therefore, I could do it a little bit at a time. I was in no rush, and I could really pay attention to that detail that I always preach about, because it's so important to me. So I'm obsessed with my dining room this year. You can see I've taken the same colors that I've used throughout my house, honey, and decorated them in my dining room and my table. I mean, I cannot. I haven't had a set table in forever. Let me tell you a little secret, okay? The reason that I did a set table is because Josh sometimes and I both, you know, come in here and pile crap on the table, and that just drives me insane. So he can't do that no more because I have got it decorated here. Aren't I creative? And so what I did to really set this tone is I laid a runner down on the table. I took a pre-made swag, I incorporated some balls, some picks, and some fun lights put in here, and I love candles to give me some height. And of course, I told you, I'm a Santa person, so I took my Santa, I put it right there to anchor the table, and then I chose my plates this year. Can we talk? Let me tell you. So look at these chargers, honey. Hobby Lobby, shout out to you. These were nothing. They were so inexpensive. They're just cheap black and white chargers. And then I love plaid. Love it. So I took the plaid, layer that on there next, and then for the third layer, I found these really cute plates here that I got up here one, and each one of them has a different kind of scene in there. So I took that and layered all three of them together. Therefore, I have really cute place settings throughout my table. So guys, while we're standing here at the table, I completely forgot that my chandelier is up here. Now, you can spend hundreds, thousands, millions, honey, of dollars decorating chandeliers and things for Christmas, but I'm always balling on a budget, girl. Okay, this stuff is expensive, and I have accumulated a lot over time. But what I did is I just had this beautiful table, and I really just wanted to kind of tie it in on the chandelier. So what I did is I just took a shatterproof ball, girl, $1.50 literally, stuck that up there in my chandelier with a few picks, and called it a day. You could easily add some lighting in there if you wanted to, or maybe some long crystals, but to really set the tone of my table and to take it up a notch, which you'll see with my trees, I went ahead and embellished my chandelier as well. So guys, moving on from the table, we are here with another one of my favorite things this year. I actually, shout out to Christy Abernathy, one of my friends. She inspired me with the pencil trees. You know, can we talk for just a second, y'all? So, I had Phillip come over, it's been about a month ago maybe, and we filmed a video from our monthly design group, and we did a 7.5 foot tree. It was right here in this corner. And I kept walking by this room and walking by, and I just hated it. I hated it. It was too short. I didn't like the color. It was a flock tree. Nothing in here was flocked, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to completely redo my dining room, especially when I went to my friend Christy's house and saw what she did. She took 2 pencil trees and mirrored her fireplace, but then I looked at my dining room, and I considered that if we put 2 trees in here and we mirrored the table symmetrically, how good it would look. And so instead of 7.5 foot, honey, we took it up a notch, just like them heels y'all supposed to be wearing. 9 foot on each side. You know, I always say the higher the heel, the closer to God. I mean, I'm just saying. So all of you women out there, throw you some heels on. So I put me some 9 foot trees in here on each side, and then of course, I love Hallmark ornaments. I love a Hallmark movie, honey. They're all predictable, but I still love them. It's always a happy ending. If you watch Lifetime, that will stab somebody before you know it, and movie over. So what I have done is I've taken my theme, which is the red and green with touches of the black and white, added these into the trees, but I made this a little bit more family or whimsical by adding in some of my Hallmark ornaments that you see here today. One of my favorite Hallmark ornaments, just like the Part 56, I have one Hallmark ornament that's always my favorite, and that is this Santa right here, honey, looking in the fridge, because that reminds me of me and Josh. We are always up at night looking in the fridge, hence the reason we can't lose no weight, okay? Shout out to Jenny Craig, but that is one of my favorite ornaments on this whole tree. So you can always, again, take 2 trees, different sizes, heights, whatever, you know, matches or blends in well with the scale of your room, and accent on each side of your table to really fill in. Also right here to my right, guys, I have a wreath. I just was looking at this room once I got the trees, the table, the chandelier done, and I thought something is missing. You know, it needs something with some height behind the center of the table, something to give this little guy here a little backdrop. And so I just took a designer wreath, I hung it on a piece of ribbon. It's lighted actually, so everything blends in, and when you see it from the front side, this whole room really comes to life. So of all the trees in my house, guys, this is probably the most special. So let me give you a little backstory. Josh's grandmother passed away, I think it's been almost a year ago, and he grew up, you know, in her house and around her, and every year she had the same Christmas ornaments, and those were very special to him. So once she passed away, he asked for her Christmas ornaments, and he wanted to always use them and do something with them in our home. So here in our guest bedroom, I did a 7.5-foot pencil tree using and accenting all of his grandmother's ornaments that he grew up with over the years. What I did is I took other things, such as some plain larger balls, mixed with some accents of floral and a few other ribbons, just to tie everything in. But most everything on this tree has a sentimental value to him, and it's very special to him, which means it's special to us. And I'm very glad to have it here in our guest bedroom. When you walk in the kitchen in there, you can look right in here and see this tree. But you'll see as we do close-ups later of all the different fun ornaments. She's got some here. She actually has some hymns. She's got some cherubs, some angels. But again, Josh grew up with all of this stuff, so this is probably the most special tree in our house. So now, guys, we've moved on to my banister. Every year I do something different, I try to at least, so you can do so many different things. You can do a lighter garland, a fuller garland, keep it green to make it more rustic and natural. This year, instead of swagging, honey, because girl, I've been swagging since 2010 literally, and I thought it was time for a change. And so what I have done is took just a beautiful pine garland and I just took it straight on up my stairwell, and then I added ribbon balls and florals to, of course, match the accents and the color palette throughout my home, and of course a few lights to just really kind of blend in and accent up my stairs. So as I was telling you guys earlier, my favorite Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation. It always has been. I feel like I'm Clark Griswold. So back in the older movies, such as that, Christmas Vacation, or maybe A Christmas Story, I'm obsessed with vintage Christmas ornaments and Christmas decorations and trees. And so what I wanted to do is kind of replicate, but use my own interpretation and my own flair, I guess, on a vintage tree. So girl, I went shopping, and do you know how hard it is to find a sparse tree? I can't have a real tree because I was limited on space, plus honey, I would burn the house down. I put too many lights on it, Stella could knock it over, she'd drink all the water, poof, burn up, burn the house down. So I thought we better not get a real tree, we better stick with some fake ones. So I found this one, it's unlit at, I don't even know where I found it, but it's unlit. And so what I did is I actually took old-fashioned bubble lights, which you'll see. I took C9 colored lights, and of course some shiny bright Christopher Radcrow vintage ornaments, and we finished this bad boy off with just a vintage star. But one thing that really made my tree, let me see if I can take this out without breaking anything, are these picks. I was so excited to get the old-fashioned tinsel garland and throw it on there, girl, but what happened? Honey, I heard that it's dangerous to dogs, and my dogs are my life. They're like my children and Josh and I's family, so I can't kill my dogs for a Christmas tree. So I actually found these picks that are like little tinsel picks. They have some bells. Shout out to Dollar General. Doesn't that make y'all sound like Dollar General? And I just incorporated these in my tree, which really kind of helped finish it off. And then right here beside me, which you'll see, I have a decorative wreath that's actually just a tinsel wreath with some of the same vintage balls on it to help kind of tie in this whole area. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and enjoying my Christmas home tour. Again, I'm so excited this year that I actually had time starting in September to really start decorating and planning everything from start to finish. Again, I'm very obsessed with detail, and therefore I wanted to make sure I'd used lots of detail in my home throughout all of my Christmas decor. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, honey, to my channel. Hit that big red subscribe button at the top. Hit that bell at the bottom, ding dong, and that's going to give you an alert and notification when I upload new content and material. And guys, if you like what you see, don't forget to sign up for my monthly design group, Dylan's Divas. What I do in that group, guys, is I provide 2 to 3 live video demonstrations per week that are only exclusive to my members. And I give you guys a produced, recorded tutorial per month that Phillip does here. And so again, we do that each and every month. It's $19.99 to sign up, guys. Not bad at all. You get all of that content. And of course, once you sign up, the #1 question I have is, do you have access to all past content, material, and videos? And absolutely, girl. So once you sign up, you have access to over 150 tutorials and videos combined over everything from trees, garlands, wreaths, as far as Christmas goes, all the way into spring and summer and everyday designs that will help you learn more about floral design. So thank you again so much for watching. I wish each and every one of you, honey, a Merry Christmas. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at Designs by Dylan, on Instagram at Dylan Palmer Designs, and that is D-Y-L-A-N, girl. And you can find me on my website at dylanpalmerdesigns.com, which there's more information on there about joining Dylan's Divas. I want to wish you and your family, every one of you guys, a wonderful, happy, Merry Christmas, and we will see you next time here on Designs by Dylan. And check me out on Facebook as well at my group. Oh, I just screwed that up.
Wait,
I liked all of that.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I decided it was a change this year to just change it up. That made no sense. Okay, let's start over. You can leave that in there and then just beep out. So now, guys, we have moved on to my banister. This is, again, one of my... I keep saying that. Start over again.
Look at her.
Stella?
She is towering over you.
Get down here. Come on. Oh my God. Leave the cat alone. Come on. Come on, come on. Downstairs. We're filming. Come on. I also wanted to mention while we're standing here at my table is my fabulous chandelier. I'm obsessed. That sucks. So let's start over. Flipper. Can y'all hear that noise, by the way? I'm just sitting here filming this home tour. I thought we picked the perfect day. And the freaking lawn service is here. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Oh, are you ready to film? I'm catching up with the dogs, guys. They just think they're ready for the camera this morning. All right, guys, go, 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 go.